Up next, Trump and Biden win presidential primaries in Kansas despite significant and committed votes.
More to come, pushbacks in Kansas legislature about diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives.
And March Madness is here. Stay tuned for updates on both the Jayhawk men's and women's trip to the tournament.
Live from the studio in Stauffer Flint at the University of Kansas, you're watching KUJH News.
Good morning and welcome back to KUJH News. I am Renee Malasmi.
And I'm Millie Favela. Kansans hit the polls Tuesday to vote in the first presidential preference primary election since 1992, replacing the traditional caucus system. Despite President Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump already clinching their party nominations, they dominated the vote, with Trump securing over 75% of the Republican vote and Biden capturing more than 80% of the Democratic vote.
Despite Biden's victory in Kansas Democratic primary, around 10% of voters statewide and 15% in Douglas County chose none of the names shown. The movement of uncommitted votes emerged as a protest in states like Michigan and Minnesota to vote dissatisfaction with President Biden's response to ceasefire demands and has resulted in over 500,000 uncommitted votes cast across the country.
Free, free Palestine!
A pivotal November battleground. Some Democrats are using primary to put President Joe Biden on notice.
A warning to Biden and his administration that they need to hear our calls and heed our demands and respond to what it is that we're asking for, which is an immediate and permanent ceasefire.
Using their ballots to protest the president's handling of the war in Gaza by voting uncommitted in the Democratic primary.
It's a humanitarian vote. It's a protest vote.
The grassroots Listen to Michigan campaign,
Vote Uncommitted,
launched by members of the state's large Arab American community just 3 weeks ago, has expanded to count progressives and young voters among its supporters. More than 30 state and local elected officials endorsed the campaign, as did Rashida Tlaib, the first Palestinian American woman to serve in Congress.
If you want us to be louder, then come here and vote uncommitted.
Allies of the president aren't quite sounding alarms over the uncommitted primary strategy yet.
I'm hoping and expecting that these folks will come vote for Joe Biden in November. But right now, they have an issue they want brought attention to, and it's working. That's why we have an early presidential primary.
And closer to home, a crowd gathered in downtown Lawrence on primary day to encourage local voters to vote uncommitted. The group also focused efforts on pushing city leaders to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. This rally was not the first time community members have urged the city to call for a ceasefire in Gaza. Last November, approximately 50 people advocated for solidarity with Palestine and demanded that the city commission formalize a stance supporting Palestine. 2 months later, in January, Mayor of Lawrence, Bart Littlejohn, did issue a proclamation on the war in Gaza. However, Palestine Afani, with Rally for Palestine organization, says that the proclamation fell short because it did not include even a mention of a ceasefire. Afani says now the focus is on the ballot box.
The goal is to vote uncommitted or other options that are similar to uncommitted to send Biden a message that you can't participate in a genocide and actively fund and engage in the killing of civilians and then expect business as usual.
With the death toll increasing daily, Gaza continues to be a significant issue in both local and national politics. Another continuous issue making waves in state legislation nationwide is the backlash against diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging efforts.
A bill currently making its way through the Kansas House of Representatives could potentially affect the student enrollment and hiring at public institutions. KUJH's Stella Uduarte joins us in studio with details.
Thanks, Renee and Millie. That's right. A new House proposal has sparked controversy regarding diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging at public, technical, and community colleges across the state. The bill says that there cannot be DEI pledges or statements made during the enrollment or hiring process. Fines can total up to $100,000, and those institutions can potentially face private and state lawsuits.
I respectfully recommend that this committee pass House Bill 2460, as I believe the university and the public will be better off by eliminating DEI from hiring in the admissions process. Every student should know that they deserve to be there based on their merit and not because they're there to meet a diversity quota. So, I pay for the privilege for my education. I work at it every single day for hours on end. My professors should be chosen based on their merit and education and not by some loyalty oath that they're forced to do by the university.
Esme Sang with the American Civil Liberties Union wasn't available to be interviewed, but shared this statement via email. If the bill passes, then it will cause an inhibition of institutional autonomy, will negatively impact on academic freedom and freedom of speech, and will cause ambiguity and enforcement challenges. Representative Stephen Howe, who is chairman of the Higher Education Committee, issued this statement, requiring statement or an adherence to a particular ideology as a condition for admissions, employment, reappointment, or promotion may violate the constitutional rights of our citizens, stifles freedom of speech, curtails academic freedom, and can limit intellectual diversity and diversity of thought on our campuses.
This bill has yet to be passed by the House. Nicole Hodges-Pursley, Vice Provost of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging at KU, couldn't comment on behalf of the DEI department on this topic specifically, but did tell me that she can confidently share that they are working diligently to support all students, staff, and faculty, and that KU is committed to cultivating and supporting a culture of belonging on campus for all Jayhawks. Back to you, Raneem and Millie.
Thanks, Stilla. This is clearly a hot topic, as just yesterday Alabama passed a sweeping bill prohibiting public schools and universities from maintaining or funding DEI programs. The law also requires public universities to designate bathrooms on the basis of biological sex.
Spring has officially sprung, but will this nice weather stick around?
It certainly didn't feel like that on Monday.
You got that right. Ashton, what do we have in store for the weather?
Good morning, KU. We are taking a look outside at our live cameras right now. It's going to be another gorgeous day today as we warm quickly back into the 60s. We started our morning off a little bit chilly, but behind me over our Emporia camera, we have clear skies, partly cloudy skies still here in Lawrence, but like I said, we're going to have this decreasing cloud coverage throughout the day, and that's going to allow more sunshine. This is a glance at our satellite and radar right now as those clouds begin to clear out of our viewing area, and these temperatures sitting in the 50s right now, but quickly going to climb into the 60s as we head into later this afternoon. 51 here in Lawrence right now, and those winds are out of the southeast for most of the day at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we're going to have this nice breeze and increasing sunshine. Taking a glance at our class planner, we're in the 50s, and then like I said, as we're heading into that later half of the afternoon, jumping back into the 60s, 63 degrees by 4 p.m. The winds are about 10 to 15 miles per hour for today out of the southeast, and then we have a new system heading our way for this weekend, and we'll talk more about that coming up.
Thanks, Ashton. March Madness is officially underway, with both of our Jayhawk basketball teams making it into the tournament. With the excitement about the tournament happening all around college campuses, one men's basketball team that did not make the tournament is celebrating a different win.
Dartmouth men's basketball team voted yes to unionize on March 5th, making them the first college team to do so. KUJH Murray Hamilton learned more about Dartmouth's decision to unionize.
College basketball team on March 5th voted to unionise by joining the Service Employees International Union Local 560 in a historic 13-2 vote. The team's decision, led by the efforts of forward Cade Haskins and guard Romeo Mifro, meant they've become the first college athletics team to do so. This was as a result of a decision taken by a regional director of the National Labour Relations Board, who had decreed that the basketball players should be classed as employees. Such a move sent shockwaves throughout the sporting world and the NCAA's business structure, which prides itself on amateurism. Siobhan Foster, a sports management lecturer here at KU, shared his thoughts on the escalating situation.
Athletic scholarships, and they are essentially working on campus, taking on an extra job, additional financial and time responsibilities to make ends meet. And from what they're requesting in terms of like medical coverage and additional resources, it seems that these are like very normal things that they would be asking for.
In recent developments, the college spokesperson, Jana Bernello, emailed the Dartmouth student newspaper on Monday, stating that the college continued to refuse to cooperate with the newly formed union. Bonello said that varsity athletes in the Ivy League are not employees. They are students whose educational programme includes athletics. The case is effectively now in the hands of the National Labour Relations Board, who the college have appealed to. If they uphold the decision of the team, Bonello says that it leaves the college with only one option left. That is of challenging the case in a federal court on the grounds of engaging in a technical refusal to bargain or refusing to bargain in good faith. Such a step would be unprecedented, not just for the college, but for the league at large and sports in general.
With all eyes on college basketball, it will be very interesting to see how other college sports teams respond to Dartmouth's decision and if they will follow along to vote.
Nowadays, many college students use TikTok, a video content creation platform that was formerly known as Musical.ly. Within the past few weeks, the U.S. government has been trying to pass a bill that will force the parent company of TikTok to sell the app within 6 months, which will possibly limit consumers' access to the platform. The company, ByteDance, is based in Beijing, causing some concerns within the government as it is not a U.S. company. KUJH's Emily Sutter went out to Jayhawk Boulevard to ask KU students how they would feel if the TikTok would be banned in the U.S.
I definitely feel like a lot of people would be upset, myself included, just because it's a large platform where for entertainment, also a lot of people learn the news on there.
It would be nice to get off of social media a little, but I think another platform would just pop up, like Instagram Reels, anything else.
I think we will find another app. We had Vine. I come from the early Vine era. I remember when that was the hotness, and now nobody talks about Vine. So I think, TikTok will be the same. We'll find something else to share our cat videos on and all that good stuff.
I wouldn't be too upset. I think I just would use Instagram or something. It's not the end of the world, but bigger issues for sure.
Where I'm at with it is that, I understand why it needs to be banned for governmental phones, but I'm here for free speech. If China wants to use our data inappropriately, it's kind of our responsibility to take care of ourselves.
I think I would have a lot more free time because I go on TikTok a lot, but also they've said they're going to ban it 15 times and nothing's happened. So I don't really know if I don't think it's going to happen.
I think TikTok needs to be banned and Instagram Reels are better.
Thanks, Emily.
Up next, a new City of Lawrence app offers residents a convenient way to report non-emergency issues and receive timely updates on their requests.
And a Taylor Swift club on campus makes waves as one of the fastest growing groups at KU. Stay with us.
Welcome back.
The City of Lawrence states that harsh weather conditions can increase the likelihood of property damage. Periods of precipitation, particularly at intersections and low-lying areas of standing water, can contribute to the development of potholes. Potholes in Lawrence are a significant issue the city has struggled with. Residents find themselves feeling unheard by the city and are further angered by the potholes.
They're terrible. I hate that I always have to swerve. I gotta worry about stuff, my tires getting flat and stuff. I feel like it's just too much wear and tear.
KU student Krishayla Adams felt hope in knowing that the City of Lawrence Services app promises faster city service for area residents. The app is affiliated with the C-Click Fix brand and allows community members to report non-emergency issues to their respective local governments. The city paused the app over a year and a half ago to make necessary improvements to meet residents' needs better.
In the past, people would have had to call us up at City Hall and or fill out a form online, and it's not as reasonable for people to do that when they can't see what might happen once they report something. We want them to know what we do in response to their request. And so that's why we think that the City of Lawrence Services app is really a way to better connect with our residents.
With the new system, users can submit requests under 7 different categories, such as park maintenance, trees obstructing walkways, missed trash collection, property maintenance, and non-emergency police assistance, such as theft and property damage. Users are also encouraged to add photos, an exact location, and a short description. From there, the requests are sent to their respective departments that will carry out the work and provide additional updates to the user. The City of Lawrence Services app is easily accessible on the App Store by searching C-Click-Fix. Since the app made its return to the smartphones of Lawrence residents in late February, it has boasted massive success. As of today, the app has fulfilled 94 service requests.
Networking is an important way for students to make the connections they need to get their foot in the door. For KU students, making those connections just got a little easier. Thanks to the newly renovated Jayhawk Welcome Center, KUJH Ari Tara joined us today to explain.
Thanks, Millie and her name. The Welcome Center was a setting for mocktails and mingles, which is an opportunity for students to interact with professionals in the industry. Mocktails and Mingles is a series of events put on by the Alumni Association and the University Career Center. Claire Decatur was one of the students making the most of this opportunity. And good news, if you missed this one, there will be other Mocktails and Mingles events soon. In fact, the Welcome Center is hosting another Mocktails and Mingles event from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. next Wednesday, March 27th.
Thanks, Ari. For students on the job hunt, spring graduation is coming up fast, and many students may be wondering how to prepare for it. Thankfully, KU got your back.
That's right. The Kansas Union is hosting a grad fair to give students everything they need for the big day. KUJH's Cameron Mackery gives us a closer look at the event.
KU seniors gathered in the Union Ballroom to try on caps and gowns and connect with campus organizations in preparation for life after college. Everything that graduates need, including diploma frames, tassels, and stoles, is sold by the KU bookstore. This event is a chance for them to shop all of the items in person and ahead of time. Beyond offering graduation attire, the grad fair also helps students secure career connections outside of KU. KU's Student Alumni Network is a valuable resource for students throughout their job search. The Alumni Association encourages students to use this organization to build professional connections to help them secure a position post-grad. Paige Freeman, Director of Student Engagement, explains the benefits of this network. Students can join the Alumni Network for free at kualumni.org to start establishing professional connections. There are a few other things that students must do ahead of May's ceremony, including applying for graduation and checking with their specific department to ensure they are on track.
Thanks, Cameron. The grad fair continues today from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., so be sure to stop by the Union Ballroom with any graduation questions.
As graduation approaches, I can't help but look forward to seeing the beautiful flowers blooming around campus. Ashton, how's the weather looking for that?
Yes, that is correct. We really do just have great weather for today. We have lots of sunshine today until this cold front is going to move in later tomorrow, and that's what's going to increase our rain chances starting on Friday and carrying with us into the weekend as well. Temperatures, though, across the area right now hanging out at 51 degrees here in Lawrence, and then temperatures a little bit cooler to the north of us, still in the 40s for them. So as the day goes on, though, our temperatures are going to continue to get warmer. We're going to get back into the 60s today, 64 degrees, mostly sunny conditions, and those winds will be out of the southeast at about 10 to 13 miles per hour for today. So it's going to be another gorgeous day, decreasing cloud coverage, and then tonight falling into the 40s. 45 degrees will be our low this evening with mostly clear skies for tonight. And if you have plans to watch that game, temperatures are going to be really great here in Lawrence at 45 degrees, and then similar in Salt Lake City, temperatures at 53 degrees there. Winds will be out of the north at 9 miles per hour. Overall, though, this is a relatively warm evening for us as we're heading into this time of the season. And then tomorrow we are jumping back into the 60s. Once again, not quite as warm, 61 degrees. It's going to be partially cloudy. It will be breezy, and we have this 30% chance of precipitation for tomorrow. Wind gusts getting close to 32 miles per hour, so it will be a breezy day out there for us with these temperatures in the lower 60s. And this is a glance at those increasing rain chances throughout the weekend. As you can see, they really begin to develop, and then as we start off next week, just begin to clear out of our way once again. So today we're in the 60s, staying clear. It won't be until Friday when these rain chances begin to develop, staying relatively clear there on Saturday, and then increasing rain chances there on Sunday and Monday as well. Just as we're heading into the start of next week for Tuesday, clearing out our skies back into the 40s, so a little bit cooler as we head into next week, but we do have a couple hard freezes on Friday night going into Saturday, and Monday and Tuesday evening. Pretty hard freezes, just be aware of that as well.
Thanks, Ashton.
Taylor Swift has made quite the impact on the world this year, from the Chiefs to the youngest fans watching the Eras Tour. A KU senior took her passion for the artist and brought it to KU's campus by starting an organization all about her and her music.
Taylor Swift's fandom, known as the Swifties, is said to be one of the largest and most devoted fan bases. The singer's music, creativity, and characteristics have inspired Swifties at KU to create an organization around her. Senior Alexis Greenberg started the Swift Society in 2022 to create an organization where any Swiftie or student could come, socialize, and share their love for Taylor Swift.
I really decided to start the Swift Society because there wasn't necessarily a club like it at KU, and it really seemed like a great opportunity for so many different Jayhawks to connect based on their shared interest of Taylor Swift. She's really popular right now, and there's just so many people that like her casually and as super fans, so I thought it'd be a good way for everyone to connect.
Since being established, the Society has held numerous events throughout the community, such as a mocktail night, Swiftie-themed bingo, friendship bracelet making, and learning how to DJ. One of Greenberg's favorite events was the 1989 Taylor's Version release listening party.
We had like 35 people just jamming out to new music, old music, sharing reactions, etc. And we have one coming up next month with the release of the Tortured Poets Department, and we're super excited for that as well.
With Taylor Swift making such a huge impact on the Chiefs this year, maybe we'll catch her here at KU soon.
I love Kansas.
For KUJH News, I'm Savannah Meyer.
Thanks, Savannah. I'll have to go check out one of those upcoming Swift Society events. March Madness is here, and speaking of celebrities and the impact they have been making on the sports community, Savannah asked KU students which celebrities they would like to see at March Madness this year. I hope that Jake from State Farm will be in attendance at March Madness this year. Who are you hoping to see, Raneem?
I would say, this is my personal opinion, I would say anyone but Taylor Swift. Stay with us as KUJH Sport anchor Marie Hamilton brings us live March Madness updates and all things KU sports.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back to KUJH Sports. I'm Murray Hamilton. It's the biggest time of the year for KU Sports. March Madness has officially tipped off with games going on as I speak, so let's jump right in. For the second time in 3 years, the Kansas women's basketball team has made it to the big dance. The Jayhawks are an 8th seed in this year's tournament, the highest seed they've been since 2000. Their first game is in LA on Saturday, where they face off against 9th seed Michigan. It's sure to be a fun one, with the squad ending their season on a high note, winning 9 of their last 11 games. Meanwhile, the Wolverines have won 6 of their last 11, with ups and downs throughout their season. The game tips off at 1 p.m. on Saturday on ESPN News. In the men's tournament, however, the Jayhawks play the Samford Bulldogs tonight in Salt Lake City, Utah. Kansas took a tough blow when head coach Bill Self gave an update on star Kevin McCullough's bone bruise in his knee.
Kevin's not going to play. Kevin says his knee pain has not subsided any, and it's too bad for him to be able to contribute. So Kevin will not play.
Without Kevin McCullough, the Jayhawks will have to step up against Samford tonight. The game tips off at 8:55 p.m. tonight on TBS. In other men's games, we have 2 games live right now. Michigan State and Mississippi State are at the half, with the Spartans leading 31-24. Meanwhile, Duquesne and BYU are also underway. The Dukes are off to a hot start and currently lead the Cougars 17-10. As millions of people finalised their brackets this week, we asked KU students who they are rooting for this March.
Colorado State, I have them going pretty far in my bracket. I think they're going to be the underdog, and they're def going to win.
So I had Sanford beating Kansas.
Auburn's low-key a sleeper this year.
McNeese State. I think the Cinderella team this year is going to be New Mexico. They got a pretty easy road going into the Final Four.
Keep my mind open for Iowa State.
Cinderella pick is going to be Iowa State.
I think GCU is going to win.
I think McNeese.
I think Grand Canyon is going to win.
For my own predictions, while I hope the Jayhawks win, I have the Yukon Huskies going back-to-back champions. This week, KU baseball took down Mizzou in Kauffman Stadium, home of the Royals. The Border Showdown went to extra innings, where the Jayhawks won with a final score of 4-3. The squad is now 11-8 with a chance to improve this weekend when they face off in a series against UCF right here in Lawrence. All games will be available to watch on ESPN+. As we work into the heart of Big 12 play in baseball, KUJH's Brock Nemaya sat down with superstar freshman Dominic Vogel to get some insight as to what makes him so effective on the mound.
2-2. Got him. Good start for the righty freshman. 1 up and 1 down.
Dominic Vagley has been a star so far this season for the Jayhawks. He earned the role of the team's Saturday starter during his true freshman season, a role typically filled by one of the best pitchers on the team. This prominent role might be nerve-wracking for someone Dom's age, but his belief in himself has led to his early success.
It's been awesome, getting to hang out with the guys and learning from all the older guys, and out there on the mound kind of just doing the same thing, just attacking hitters and just doing me.
Just doing him has been working great so far. Through his first 5 appearances, Vagley has a 2-1 record with a 2.08 ERA and 25 strikeouts through 26 innings pitched. Vagley was almost never a Jayhawk, as he had the opportunity to turn pro last summer after he was drafted in the 20th round of the MLB draft by the Arizona Diamondbacks. He says that he and his family ultimately determined that coming to Kansas was the best decision for his future.
We thought, coming here, getting a degree and just learning more and growing more as a person, we just figured it was a better opportunity to come to school, and that way I could possibly make more money after 3 years.
So far, the decision to come to college has paid off. The Jayhawks ball club is playing some great baseball, and Vagley has high expectations for himself and his team for the rest of the season.
For my team, I expect us to be at the top of the Big 12 standings, up there with TCU, the best of them from last year. And for myself, kind of just going out there, staying myself and doing the best I can and giving my team the best chance to win.
For KUJH, I'm Brock Niemeyer.
Thanks, Brock. KU baseball will take on UCF this weekend at home in a 3-game series, with the first game being Friday night at 6. Staying in the diamond, let's take a look at the softball team's hot streak. Although the team lost a tough game last night to Mizzou, the team was riding a 7-game win streak and they have won 16 of their last 19 games. Oof. And that run includes a sweep against a top 15 Baylor team. Next up for the Jayhawks is a series against Houston this weekend. You can tune in on ESPN+. The excitement around KU sports right now further cements KU's new reputation as an everything school, being one of only 2 schools with that accolade. With an FBS bowl game win and appearances in the NCAA volleyball and now men's and women's basketball tournaments, KUJH reporter Shamaria Massenberg spoke with former KU distance track coach Douglas Collock about why KU sports culture led him to retire in Lawrence.
I just did a 30-day road trip, and I've visited people that competed at all the different schools that I used to coach, so that was a lot of fun. I just think everything that you could possibly ask for as a student athlete, that you need to be competitive as an athlete and as a student, you have at a school like Kansas. And I would just like to be remembered as a person that had the best interest of the kids, athletically and academically, kind of had a balance there to help them be the best they could be at both.
That will do it for today's Sports Block. With many big games coming up for Jayhawk Sports this weekend, we'll be sure to fill you in on all of the action when they're back next week. Stay with us.
Skip the lines. Download the Grubhub app today.
Welcome back.
As students head out this weekend to watch and enjoy the excitement of March Madness, what can we expect for weather, Ashton?
The weather this weekend is going to be a little bit rainy for us. We're starting off in the 60s for today on Thursday, and then we're going to quickly cool off as we have a cold front that's going to be approaching us tomorrow, dropping our temperatures from the 60s into the 50s, and then we have multiple rain chances. We're staying relatively clear on Saturday, our strongest chance of precipitation there on Sunday, and then we're clearing back out for Tuesday. Overall, though, if you're heading out this weekend, you may need to grab that umbrella.
Thanks, Ashton. While
it might not be raining cats and dogs this week, it was definitely raining puppies at the Paws for Pups event at Crawford Community Center last night.
Last semester, I got to meet some puppies at a KU Puppy Therapy event. The dogs were brought back as Paws for Pups returned to the Crawford Community Center. Paws for Pups is organized by HERO, the Health Education Resource Office. The goal is to give students the opportunity to take a step back from their stressful schedules and give them some furry friends to relax with. KU student Artemis Carver attended the event and explained what makes it beneficial for students.
I think it helps our experience because we have so much work to do, and that stress builds up over time, and it's really difficult to focus after a while on our work and on our personal lives after a while.
Loving Paws Animal Therapy is also involved. The organization is made up of volunteers who want to share their dogs with the community. One of those volunteers is Jennifer Carter.
It's really just designed to help be that connection to the pet that students may have at home.
Carter also described a variety of benefits from puppy therapy as well.
Studies, research have shown that there's all sorts of physiological benefits to laying hands on and talking to a dog. And so that's really what Paws for Pups is about.
Dogs were doing tricks, playing together, and enjoying all of the love. The puppies were even cuter the second time around. If you're interested in attending a Paws for Pups in the near future, it will be at the Jayhawker Apartments on April 3rd. For KUJH News, I'm Carson Shea.
I will definitely have to head out to Jayhawker Towers for that next one because I really want to see some pups.
Yeah, those cute puppies really made me miss my dogs back home.
I know, they are so cute.
Very excited for the sports as well. March
Yeah.
Madness.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Not looking forward to that rain, though.
I know we have rain chances for this weekend, so
Absolutely.
that's unfortunate.
I agree. Join us next week for details on graduation ceremonies, as both David Booth Memorial Stadium and Allen Fieldhouse are under construction.
Will KU still be competing in March Madness? Tune in for live March Madness updates.
And of course, Ashton will be back with more weather.
Keep up to date with KUJH on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as visiting our website at tv.ku.edu.
I am Renee Malasmi.
And I'm Millie Favela, signing off.